This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk radio like you've never heard it before.
I don't like this thing. I can't stand this thing.
It's Friday.
Stand it. You don't even sing yet. It's not time for you to sing yet.
Getting ready.
No. I hate this song. All right, you ready? Not yet. Here you go. Oh boy.
Whee! You played it. My song. It's now my song. That's your Friday night song. I love it. I missed it.
Do I really have to
Yes.
play it
Yes.
all the time?
I thought my people talked to your people about it.
No. My people didn't talk to your people
didn't
at
get
all.
back to
They
my
don't want to
people.
even have anything to do with your people. Let me turn our mics up a little bit.
That'll help.
Oh boy.
Oh, thank you. Look, it's
Thank
once
you.
a week,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
I guess. You know. So anyway, how are you?
I'm good, and it's Friday.
Yeah, this is in case you're not familiar with it. This is my wife, who's a little bigger than I am here.
Should I sit back?
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Bigger which way?
Because I've redone the cameras here,
Well, do you want me to move
and they
back?
look better. But the thing is that I had to kind of like move yours in a little bit. Don't look.
I wanted to just...
You can't see. Then you move your head over here. Not going to see yourself. But you see, over on the left, you can see a chair with a pillow.
Oh, we didn't move that back.
No, but you can't, even if you move it back. No, now it's really showing.
Oh.
You just want to push it all the way over there. Yeah.
There we go.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Okay. It's only a pillow.
It's only a pillow.
And actually, I should put it here behind my back.
Well, really? Is that what an old lady does?
Well, I gave you my seat.
Huh?
You've got my pillow seat.
So anyway, no, let's talk about this theme song, okay? You have bullied me.
What do you mean I bullied you? You
Because-
haven't played the song forever.
Here's my theme song. Now you see, I like that. I like that. Because it's peppy, and then right about here I jump in and I go, "Hey everybody, it's the Ramble," and it goes on from now until midnight Eastern time, and you can enjoy it. A little bit later, we're going to be talking to the Citizens Panel, and we're going to be having a great time tonight. So I hope you enjoy it. Stay with us. Now you see that has much more.
Well, that's
and
you.
It's shorter.
But this is mine.
It's
This
shorter.
is Friday, and
Why
the light
should
of your life is coming
Why
on.
should you have your theme song?
like
It's
it.
my show.
It's Friday. It's Friday.
It's Friday. It's Friday.
Da, 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 da.
Oh boy.
I'm taking off next Friday.
You take off. You can only work 4 days a week.
I wish. Oh God, this was a long
Why are you
week.
taking next Friday off? Do you have to get your nails done or
No,
something?
no, just as a day. I mean, I haven't taken a vacation, Alex.
Well, by the time we get to take one, you won't have any days left.
I'll take them without pay.
Huh? Well, where are we going to go on vacation?
Well, I was ready to go this spring.
See, I don't know how to do it because I'm just going to have to. I'm just not going to. I guess it'll just be blank space for 2 hours.
Well, can't you do a show from wherever we go? If,
No,
you get,
if I'm going on vacation, I want a vacation. I don't want to have to work.
so do some of your recordings, some of the best
Yeah,
of.
and how's it going to get played?
Well, maybe somebody can help
No.
you.
Yeah, it's too much. Too much.
Oh, I spoke to Wes today. Well, on email.
Who's
on
Wes?
Facebook. Your biggest caller from the bus era, when all the bus drivers were calling you. Wes.
Oh, Wes. Oh,
Yeah.
Wes.
So he
Wes
said he
was-
tried calling you last night, but he couldn't get through, and he couldn't. I said, please keep trying. So I send him our best.
Yeah, well, is he on the list and stuff? You know, is he asked to be a friend?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Because if he asked to be a friend, I then have you, and come on.
I'll ask him. I mean, I'll send him an email tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Well, I'm on your show right now.
Really?
Yes.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. I got to do something here. I have.
Here we go.
No, just little things I have to do. Otherwise, I have to always. Here's what happens. See, we use Skype, but we use the old version of Skype rather than the new version because the new version makes it much more difficult for me to create a citizen panel.
I remember when you were going through that.
So we rolled our machines back to like
the old
where it's easier to do.
Right.
What it is basically when somebody calls, it says, Marjorie's calling, and then you hit the button, and
there she is.
And it says on the bottom, it says add to call, and you just click on it. Well, they did away with that. So now you have to hang up on the person, then call them back. It's a mess, okay? So, but what they do, because they want to torture you, is every time you start up Skype, it comes up saying, do you want to go to the newest version of Skype? And you have to press not now. Well, I tried to press it, but then that little thing went behind Skype, and I had to diminish Skype, and then, so it's a mess. It's a pain in the ass.
Well, that's it. They try to put more bells and whistles, and they make it worse.
Oh, the Skype is actually worse than it was. Yeah, I mean,
do they have any competition?
Let me put it this way: if I want to do it the other way, it does. I do get better pictures. I do get widescreen on everybody's camera. It is nicer in a lot of ways, but they could make it easier for you to add somebody to the call.
Yes.
Instead, you have to start like a group, like with somebody, and then you have to hang up on people and then add them, and hang up on somebody, add them, and that's how you get people online with you. And it's too much trouble. I'm an old man. I don't need this.
It's Friday. Meanwhile, we're supposed to have a nor'easter, like a slight nor'easter. It's going to pass New York, but we're going to get all the winds and rain starting like tonight or very early tomorrow, and it's supposed to go all weekend. And then be in the 70s and 80s next week.
Is there anything like a neither Easter? Eastern?
A nor'easter?
Neither
Eastern? A southeaster?
No, neither Eastern to go along with the nor'easter. Neither or nor.
Neither nor.
Yeah, anyway.
A neither nor'easter.
Bad joke. I'm just trying something.
Terrible.
I was going for something. It didn't work.
Didn't work.
I should cash it in right now and not do the show tonight.
Hey.
But anyway, last night I was talking about, we always, lately with this crowd, we get into doctors. And in a way...
Well, wait a minute. Let me just preface it. The reason why you get into doctors is because you start out your show with your health update.
Well...
With your bodily functions and your health update.
But everybody, but also we're living in a time where health is important. I mean, that, the how it gets paid for.
Yeah.
By the way... Last night I was talking about my doctor having me go out and get another blood test, right? I went to Medicare to see what they had paid out and it says what they asked for, what it's worth, and what they paid out.
Yeah, I heard it on your show.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much do you think they bill the government for a blood test?
A blood test?
Yeah. Take just a wild guess.
Well, it's the lab that bills the company.
Yeah.
How much?
No, take a guess.
$800.
Close, almost 1,000.
Really, for blood tests? Wow.
For blood tests. And I'm going, and now he wants me to go out for another one. What does he want to do? Make the government rich? Do I look like I have a heart problem? Is my cholesterol, look at my veins. Are they bulging out?
Mine are. Look at this.
Well, let's not,
Well, you brought it up. See, the beginning of every conversation
Thank God I didn't,
is the health update.
I didn't have the close-up of you, so they couldn't see it.
Please.
Let me give them a close-up of you, and then you can show them the... wait a minute, hold on a second. I got to get my coffee out of
the
the
Elizabeth Taylor lens on, please.
No, I can't do
please.
that. What are you going back for?
I'm going back for distance.
And they can see that you're wearing the plaid pants, and she makes me wear them too.
Well, it's comfy. It's our home, and it's a pretty plaid.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm wearing it my 2014 U.S. Open T-shirt.
Yeah, I'm wearing. No, I'm not wearing my Coca-Cola T-shirt tonight.
You sure?
I'm wearing my Coca-Cola. Yeah. But
And
no.
look at, and he's
but
wearing
no.
his orange plaids. Much better than those black things.
Yeah, but
you're
we
wearing.
look like two old people.
What do you think we are?
Well, you know,
God.
you don't want to look like two old people. Now, you see, if I were a handsome old guy, I'd go for it. But I'm not.
No.
Thank you very much, dear.
It was always your personality.
I really appreciate it, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. Now, let's get on with the show.
It's 10:15. I'm just giving you an update.
What?
It's 10:15.
You count the minutes till this is over with, right? No, but anyway, so I was talking yesterday about the fact that my doctor, I don't really think he knows who I am.
Well, with 3,300 patients, it's kind of hard.
It's kind of hard. And, you know...
And the sad thing is, they have to do that.
But you remember, there was a time when you showed up and your doctor went, "Hi, how you been?" Do you know a doctor who always knows me? My gastroenterologist, Dr. Chan. I
got a lot of my doctors that know me.
I was at Mount Sinai. I think was seeing Steve when he was in the hospital dying, and all of a sudden I hear somebody go, "Bennett," you know, because that's the name he knows me by, Bennett. And I turn around and I go, "Oh, Dr. Chan." He says, "Yeah, what are you doing here?" You know, he knew me.
Okay, my gynecologist knows me.
From the waist down.
Marvin Gilbert knows me. I mean, my dentist knows me. These are people that I've gone to for 20, 25 years.
Yeah, but I mean, this guy, he calls me a month ago. He asked me to call him because he wants to explain the test and how it turned out. And he said, "Your cholesterol's really sky high, and we don't know why because you're taking, the statins. And so I want you to take another blood test. Do it in about 3 months, and I'll send you the thing."
You're repeating yourself.
Well, I'm telling it for people who didn't listen to the show last night.
I missed that part.
You don't know this about radio. You keep doing the same joke you did at 7 o'clock in the morning, you do at 9, But anyway, because it isn't the same audience. But anyway, so...
Back to your
so
story.
he said, "And I'll send you a script for it so you can go get it and do it in about 3 months." I said, "Okay, good," because he had me on some new medicine on top of the statin that was supposed to enhance the statin. So we wanted to see how that would turn out. And so I got it in the mail. I got it stored away here. I got a thing the other day. It's got like 3 things. It's the 3 things that were circled on my blood test thing. One was urine, blood in my urine, which I've had, and I've told him this forever. Don't worry about it. I went to my urologist. Don't worry about it, right? So he knows I don't need that, but he's got that on this thing. And also some stuff about the liver, and then, of course, the blood test. He forgot
with
that he had already...
With 3,300 patients.
Yeah, but
I can't even imagine.
He forgot that I had already done it. So I called his nurse yesterday, or whatever she is. And she says, "Well, he's not here today, but I'll tell him tomorrow, and I'll call you back." Well, what time is it now?
Bedtime.
I didn't hear from him. Didn't hear from them. Have no idea.
You're not paying for the concierge.
I'm sorry, Mr. Bennett died because you didn't get back to him.
You're not paying the concierge.
But here's the thing. See, I mean, let's be very honest about it. I am at an age where I need my health watched a little more carefully than it would have been 20 years ago.
Of course.
Okay? And because of that, I think it's important that the doctor I have knows who the fuck I am.
It would help.
It called me crazy.
Call you Alex.
So I'm, there's another doctor that used to work with him and then went over to Mount Sinai, and I'm thinking of maybe going to her. Just because maybe she won't remember who I am. But
it won't be 3,300 people.
But it won't be 3,300 exactly.
3,300.
And I mean, I like this doctor we've got. He's a little crazy. He's a little nutty. He's kind of like Dr. Doofus. Right? He has a weird laugh. It's It's very, very weird. But anyway, and he's good at the heart stuff, I guess.
He is.
You know, the only thing is he went out and he bought this heart machine, right? He bought this thing to do
Electrocardiograms.
Electrocardiograms. Well, no, he has the electrocardiogram.
Cardiograms.
This was a echocardiogram.
Echocardiogram.
So he bought an echocardiogram machine. And who was the first one he tested it out on?
You?
Me. It was like, I think anybody that even came close to needing an echocardiogram, he immediately was using it. Number one, to learn it, and number two, to pay it off. You know, because of course he can get more for the echocardiogram.
Well, and of course he has a lot of senior clients, patients.
Yeah, he has a lot of senior patients. So, like you're a senior patient of his. Would you believe this woman is 84
Alex,
years old?
in this country.
84 years old.
In
Look
this
at
country.
her. Look at her. Look into the camera. Look at you. Oh man.
1021.
So anyway, and then let's see here. What do we do this week? You know, we a lot of people don't probably. A lot of people might remember her, but we had lunch this week with Christy.
Oh, right. And
her name is now Christy Whitmore. It was Whitmore.
Yeah. So they came into New York.
Yeah, but her name also, you might remember her from San Francisco, is Christy Frazier, Christy Andrade. And she used to be my producer.
Right.
And we had a very nice...
It was great. We spent an afternoon with them.
Yeah. And,
we took them to one of our favorite neighborhood places.
Yes. And that was very nice because I like her.
I do too. And I like him.
If anybody remembers... Jim, Revelstoke Jim and myself and a whole bunch of other people on a little project we called Play TV. She was my producer for Play TV, and she ran my little office. And what was always great about Christy was that when we worked together, once a year, we would have a big blowout fight. It was like we were married, you know? That was, like you and I have about one big blowout fight every year.
More than that.
Every week.
Pretty much.
Every day.
Every hour.
Every hour.
That's what's nice about having a large apartment. You can kind of go in your own space.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
No, really.
Except when one of your friends comes to stay, and then I'm out of my room back there.
Well.
But anyway, so that was very nice. And then we saw Guardians of the Galaxy.
Excellent. Just fun.
Just fun.
Fun.
It wasn't excellent. It
was fun. It was fun.
It was fun. You walk out of the theater, and this is the way you should walk out of a theater.
You just feel good.
I had a good time.
Yeah.
That was a good time to be had.
It was. And I love the little tree.
So in the past week, we've had
our
president go rogue.
Oh, my God.
I saw tonight, they showed a clip just, in passing, of Obama when he was president. And I just went, I want one of those.
He was so distinguished and so...
I mean, if whether you liked him or not, he had a certain dignity.
He fit the position.
He brought dignity to the office.
He really did. He fit the position.
There was a feeling that, there was a certain classiness that he embodied, which was terrific.
His whole family.
Yeah. So I miss that.
And then you get this lug, this piece of shit.
This guy almost, in the old days, you would walk into the Oval Office and be awed by the majesty of it all. And now I think you probably go in and say, did something die in here? Yes, democracy.
Yeah. I mean, the sad thing that I feel is I don't know if this country's going to get healthy again.
You know what the problem is? He has an idealization of what you can do when you're the president.
Yeah, which is anything you want.
Which you and I would do. We become president and go, oh, well, good. I can, let's see what this red button does.
Right, chocolate cake for the president.
Yeah, I think he's more interested in what he can order, what food he can order out for lunch in the Oval Office than anything else. He gives that position no majesty. And
it's like he doesn't give a shit. He doesn't really read the stuff.
I'll tell you,
he has no idea what the health bill is.
Years ago, I interviewed a guy by the name of Ashley Montague, and he was an anthropologist, and he wrote a book that you're all familiar with called The Elephant Man, about this
The
guy
elephant.
Merrick in England, who was deformed. But after a while, all of the noble people in England wanted to meet him and be with him because he was intelligent and everything. And there was something about being with him. And we started talking about fashion and what dictates fashion. And he said fashion was always dictated by royalty.
Yeah, absolutely.
In other words, if they wore a ruffled collar,
Everybody did.
all of a sudden the ruffled collar was in. And I said, but we don't have a king or a queen here in the United States. And he said, well, our movie stars are kind of that now, and our music stars, because they do something and then the public does it. And to a lesser extent, it's the president influences the way in which we act and comport ourselves. And what he's doing in the White House is just dangerous.
It's horrible.
It's absolutely horrible. Now the thing that who of us didn't want to see what's his name Comey out of work? We didn't like what he did to Hillary, right? But when he got rid of him, in the manner in which he got rid of him, it bothers us.
Yeah.
Because he didn't to begin with. He should have waited till Comey got the letter.
Well, the other thing is he lied, and the people that he made do his dirty work lied, and then all the people that carried his message lied.
Yeah.
So everybody was lying. I mean,
And now he says he has tapes.
Yeah, let's see it, you asshole.
Yeah, no.
I told you every day I go on his tweets
well-
and I respond to his tweets.
Well, Sean Spicer then went on and said, well, he's not, or whoever was doing the press
that lady,
conferences.
Sarah, whatever her name is.
Huckabee's daughter.
Is that Huckabee's daughter?
Yeah. They said that he was not going to comment any further on the tapes. You know why he's not going to comment any further on the tapes? Because he doesn't have anything.
Did you hear what the president said now? He may stop all press briefings and just give out a paper.
Handouts.
Yeah. He said, because you don't listen to me anyway.
The first thing that Hitler did when he took office was to diminish the press.
But diminish the press and to create groups against groups.
Yeah. So, what the hell? It's almost getting to be that time.
It's scary. Oh, yes, it is. Can I roll over?
No.
No?
No.
Oh.
Because, no, not yet.
Okay.
I'm going to make you wait till the last minute.
Well, you got 2.5 minutes.
No,
Yeah?
I've got exactly 2 minutes right now. If we go until 10:30. But I'll tell you what I'll do, is I will turn on the panel.
Can I roll over?
Huh?
Roll me over in the clover. Roll me over, lay me down, and do it again.
Really?
It's one of those beer songs.
Is that the beer song?
That's a beer song.
Okay, well, anyway, come on over here.
I'm
dear.
coming over.
And you can, there she is. There she goes.
Here
she comes. And what's going to happen now, oops, is we want you all to start, let me see here, start talking to us. And we have, I have to turn on Skype before they can call us.
That would help.
I will, yes, that would help. Here we go. Skype is now, the phones are now open. If you believe in that sort of thing. Let me see here. Let me go delete that. There we go. And we're ready to go. If anybody wants to call, here's how you do it. You can use Skype. You can go to skype.com, download the program, then you give them your first name, your last name, your email address, and then an ID you want to use. Our ID is Gabnet Live. So if you want to call us on Skype, you call Gabnet Live. All right? That's for starters. And then you can also phone us. And I don't, something, I never, oops. Well, it's Jeff Stein already.
Right out of the gate.
Let me answer the call there. Hello, Jeff. How are you? Let me just go. Look at him. Wow. There he is, that handsome bearded gentleman.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good night.
Yeah, that's
Good
true.
evening.
Hold on a second. I got to just look and make sure all of this is working okay. There we go.
I don't see my face on here.
Well, you're there.
there.
We see you. We see
Okay.
you. Yeah. Here comes Kevin. Okay, we add Kevin to the group. Hello, Kevin. How are you?
Hi, Alex. How are you?
I'm fine. And if you turn on your camera, we can see you. Then Jason is calling. It's every other Friday night that Jason gets to call. Hi, Jason.
Hi, Jason.
Hello.
Yep. Turn on your camera so we can see you. And Kevin, turn on your camera so we can see you. There we go. Those little things you see whirling around as the camera is starting. And sometimes they take a while. Like Kevin's isn't jumping in yet, but there he is. There he is.
All right.
Now Jeff.
What's good again?
Eventually, we'll get this all together. Let me see here. Scott Boddicker is calling. He doesn't want to be the first one anymore because he knows what happens when you're the first one. It's what's happening to Jeff right now. Jeff, I got a suggestion. Hang up and call back.
I see him. It'll probably just be a minute before you do.
It matters whether we see him or not
Hey,
here.
Scott.
Whether we see him or not here, because that's what the TV people are going to
See.
see or not see. So.
To see or not to see?
To see or not to see? That is the question. I got to do something here too, and take the panel and make them a little more in view.
Hey, Scott,
here.
your barber called. He said he misses you.
Huh? What?
He says, Scott, his barber called. He misses him.
I see. Okay, let's see here. And I wonder if
Who's that?
what?
Who's
No, that's
that?
me. Don't do that. Here we go. Here comes Rob. Add him to the crowd, and if we can get our good friend to call us back, here we go. There we go. Now we have. Well, wait a minute. Jeff didn't come on for some reason. Wait a minute. Where's Jeff Stein? Oh, I can't do it. Jeff, call us back, Jeff. Jeff. Oh, now I've got a problem here.
Oh, go.
Well, no, just please. I've got a problem with my Skype. It's frozen. Oh, boy. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. Skype has stopped working.
You think they're doing that on purpose?
Who knows? Anyway, I will start Skype back up again, and we will hope and pray. Everybody's going to have to call me back, I guess. And then I have to sign in. Oh, this is not fun. Hold on a second, folks. Let me also do this so that I have I can do it. Let me see here. Let me put in password. What is my password? Oh, here we go. Okay, and sign in. And then it goes around and around and around and around. And we have all these various people who called and have now been hung up on. So here we go. Rob's calling now. And let me see here. Hello, Rob. There's Rob. Okay, so that's for starters. We have Rob. And now we have Kevin calling. And now we have Jeff calling. And I guess we'll get somebody else soon. But everybody turn on your cameras so we can see you. I'm
not allowed.
Why? Really?
Yeah.
Well,
it's got a symbol through it, a thing with the symbol through it, and it won't let me take the symbol off of it. The line.
Okay, well then hang up and call back.
Okay.
Okay. See, sometimes, folks, it takes a good hour before we get everybody on the line. Cancel. They just wanted to know what my... there we go. There's Scott Boddicker, and here comes Rob Alfano. And here comes Jason. All right. Now, there, your camera's on, Rob. And Scott, your camera almost went on, Scott. Try it again. Okay.
Where's Jason?
Huh? Jason, turn your camera on.
It says that it's on. I see me.
Okay, well, stop it and start it again. Yeah, toggle it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, boy. There we go. Now you're whirling around, Jason. There we go. Now we got everybody. Whoa! Phew! Isn't this
hard work?
Huh? Well, I've never had Skype crash on me. I've never had it crash on me, but it did this time. So but that whole operation only took a couple of minutes. So who cares? Hello, everybody. How are you? You know something? Phil isn't going to be here tonight.
It's a feel-free night.
It's a Phil-free Friday.
Feel free to
Damn,
call.
this has been a great night to tear him up.
Why so?
Really?
Hey, look, I mean, we could tear
Probably
him
being
up.
taped.
Huh? Oh, yeah, that he taped the, yeah, right. Right. Well, didn't I ask that question the other night that since Nixon, does any president tape?
I think they
Yeah.
all do.
Yeah, and didn't I mention the 3 different times that he made sure that he was told that he wasn't investigating or being investigated?
Meanwhile, he
Well,
kept
that
saying that
shit-
Kobe.
Wait a minute,
Big time.
talking to the mic.
He kept saying that Kobe wanted the dinner, but actually it was Comey. But actually it was Trump.
He brought him in, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they had dinner.
And they said he was there to try and save his job, is what he said. No,
Who, Comey was there to try and save his
Comey was there to try and save his
That's
job.
what he said.
That's why he called the dinner. But in turn,
Well, who called the dinner? Comey?
No, Trump.
Or Trump?
Trump.
Trump,
But he
yeah,
kept
they
saying
tried to
that
make it
on
To
look like
begin with,
Comey.
when you're dealing with business like this, do you do it over dinner? You know, don't you bring him into the office, sit down, and have a
You
discussion?
never know with that guy. He told them he was fired over TV, so what the hell?
It's true.
Well, I love Jimmy Kimmel because his new description of this administration is on the latest episode of The Apprentice.
It is. It is. It's
It's-
a joke.
It's turning out that way.
But it's sad. It's
It is, because I want to get
that's
behind
just
my
deep.
president, and I can't.
Yep.
Yeah.
Somehow you want to get behind the guy because he's our president, and you want him to succeed and straighten us out and be the savior that he said he was, but he's just stepping on his wanky so many times, it's ridiculous.
He's sick in the head. He really is.
Well, first of all, I want to mention something before we go on with that. I got a note from Patrick. He's probably not going to be able to call tonight because he's having problems with his catheter.
He had leakage.
Well, he didn't have to describe it.
Well, he described it on his Facebook page.
Oh.
That's another part of the program. That's the medical part.
I thought we were never
Ooh,
stopped.
speaking of that, Rob, how's your leakage?
I've got
Oh,
surgery
right.
on Monday.
Oh, really?
Oh, really? Really?
I've got to go tomorrow for an EKG and blood work.
Yeah, the pre-op.
Apparently, once you turn 50, you just can't get surgery. You've got to go for these tests.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
pre-op.
And so, yeah. And then Monday afternoon, I have the surgery.
But wait a minute. I thought you said it lanced itself.
It did.
But
And
not
the doctors
completely.
looked at it today and they went, surgery.
They probably just want to flush it out with saline.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they also want to charge $5,000 or something.
Well, I was already told that. The facility called me today. Like I was in the car, just left the doctor's office, and they say you're responsible for $1,048 of that's your portion of it. That's just the facility. Then there's the doctor and the anesthesiologist and
No,
all
wait a
that.
minute. 1,000. But when they say $1,048,
Yeah,
is that copay or what?
that's what my insurance supposedly is covering 90% of it.
Mm-hmm.
I have a $500 deductible.
Wow, that's good policy.
And so I'm responsible for $1,000, 1,048 or something. She said that's an estimate. Plus, you still have the doctor's fee and the anesthesiologist.
Wait a
fee.
minute. Why do you want 1,048 if your maximum is 500 or something?
No, he's the
His
That's
deductible.
deductible.
$500 deductible, and then I owe 10%.
If you
They'll
had-
pay 90% of the procedure.
Okay.
So I'm going to
Yeah,
be
if you had-
responsible for 10% of the anesthesia and 10% of the doctor fees.
Okay,
as well.
but where
You had
your
already covered
where your
the
doctor fees are concerned, all but 10% of that is going to be taken care of because
Correct.
you will have already paid off the minimum,
deductible.
The deductible.
The anesthesiologist a lot of times isn't in network.
Well, I checked on that today. I called and I spoke to my insurance company. I have United Healthcare, and they said he's not in your plan. However, you have a codicil in your plan that covers you if your facility uses an out of network anesthesiologist and they use them regularly, which they told me that they do. Then I have a codicil in my plan that they accept that as in network. So I'm not going to get stuck that way. Or I would have called it off, quite frankly.
Hold on a second. I'm trying to. This guy Truman Forsyth was trying to call. Let me accept him as a contact. Okay. Now, Truman, you might try again now, is what I'm going to say, is you might try again. Let me get out of this and get into that.
When you get an EK, have you gotten an EKG?
Yeah.
What is that like?
Takes you longer to set it up than it does to take the EKG.
Exactly.
What do they do?
They just put a bunch
Put
of...
like probes on your chest and
Yeah.
then run it for about 30 seconds and then tell you to go home.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And that's too intrusive. Maybe you should just, get something in the mail and do it.
You'd think they just scan it or something. Lay on a copier.
Smart ass.
By the way, a guy by the name of Truman Forsyth is trying to call. Truman, try again now. I should be able to probably put you on the citizens panel because I've accepted you as a contact, okay?
Jason has his
So,
hand up.
Truman, if you're listening, call, all right? Jason.
All right, so since Rob told his embarrassing ordeal, I have one that was just as bad, if not worse, a few years ago. I had probably kind of the same thing. It was called a fistula.
In the same place?
No, it's in your ass.
Yeah. You mean you had a fist up your ass?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So it's basically a deep boil or zit, like way deep inside, and it's supposed to make its own little trail to your rectum. And it was just one day I sat down and I felt the sharp pain, and I'm like, what the hell is that? And I was kind of feeling around back there, and I felt a bump. I'm like, and I kind of looked it up and saw what it was. Said, go to your doctor. A doctor will lance it, and you're going to feel so great. Well, the doctor, because it was too close to my tailbone, didn't want to touch it. So he sent me to a specialist. And I'm telling him, yeah, there's blood in my stool once in a while, but it's bright red. It's fresh. It's not like it's coming from anywhere else.
Right.
Well, we want to send you in for a colonoscopy. Okay, so whatever, going for the colonoscopy comes out great. So and he said that what they were going to do is they were going to see if they could find the trail to get up there and basically clean it out themselves. If they can't, they were going to take like a rubber band and cut a hole through my ass and put a rubber band in there so the hole couldn't close up, so the infection would end up
This is
draining
getting very...
itself.
Let's see here. How many people do we have left listening to us?
But it gets better.
It's
It
like
gets better.
hemorrhoids.
Oh, wait a minute. First of all, before you continue, let me just say hello to Truman Forsyth because he's never called the show before. Right,
Brian
Truman?
is calling.
Right, Truman? Are you there, Truman? Truman? Well,
I see a dot.
huh?
I
Well,
see a dot, but I don't hear his
Yeah, I don't hear his
Oh.
voice either.
Turn on your light.
Well, I'm not gonna
There's
deal with
Brian.
that. But Brian has to call back. He, for some reason, didn't catch, as it were. But anyway, so
No, I want to hear the rest of this.
do you want to hear the rest of this?
Yes, it's getting
So
good.
I went and I got my colonoscopy. The guy, he said he cleaned out the trail a little bit. You couldn't really find where it was going and whatnot.
Yeah.
So basically he did nothing. He gave me a colonoscopy. So I go in a couple of times over the next year. Finally, I go back to the same specialist, and he orders another colonoscopy. It's like, what the hell? I just had one last year. Well, we need to know what this is, and blah, 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 blah. And that's all he did was a colonoscopy. So he knew the insurance would pay for it. So he took it and ran. So now I'm like, whatever, I'm just dealing with it. I'm out of town working one time. I'm in a hotel room, and it started getting so bad. And I felt like a crackhead.
By the way, we just lost 2 listeners. Just keep going. Keep going.
So I'm trying to put any and every salve on there I can find to help try to make it feel better. Nothing's working. And I'm sitting there in a hotel room, and finally I'm like, I can't take it anymore. I got up, I jumped in the shower, I turned it on boiling hot. I had no control over myself at all. I stuck my finger up my ass, and I popped it myself. And it just gushed and gushed and gushed. I'm like,
Okay,
I
all right.
cannot
Wait a
believe
minute.
it.
Wait a minute. We just got somebody. I don't know why, but somebody joined us.
Talk about sticking a finger up the ass. and somebody-
Hello, Brian.
That's the only finger up the ass.
Wait, why don't you talk into the microphone?
Because you have the microphone all the way
Well,
over there.
I have to. I'm the host of the show, and I need the microphone. You have to lean into it because you're not.
I'm going to say goodnight.
Good night. Get
Good night,
lost.
everyone.
Say get lost,
night.
Marjorie. Say get lost,
And
Marjorie.
Margie.
I will.
Yeah, there she goes. You can probably see her.
So,
in the,
Jason,
in,
did you
in,
get paid
in,
for that?
in the background as she
It
leaves.
hurt so bad, but felt so good.
There she goes. There she goes, waltzing out of the studio.
She has pants on.
She has those pants on. Yeah. Anyway, so where were we? So that's a disgusting story, Jason.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Now, so what time of the day is the operation, Rob?
I have to be there at noon, and the operation is at 2:10, 2 o'clock to 3:10.
And that's on Monday. So Tuesday,
Yeah.
you'll be able to give us a full report on this.
That's right. You know, I tell you, it was funny though because they made me do an ultrasound of my bladder, and I was just like you, right? They're doing this ultrasound. You know, they make you evacuate, and then they want to see how empty your bladder is.
Yeah.
You must have had that done, right? They put
Well,
that
my
thing-
doctor, my doctor does is he does an ultrasound on my whole thing, the kidneys, everything.
Oh, they just did the bladder right,
Yeah.
right below your waistline, right,
Yeah.
in front. And so the girl does that, right, and then she leaves the room and she's getting the information ready. And now the doctor that was working with me, she was in her office, and now I'm waiting. I don't know what happened, what the results of this thing is, and I'm listening to her on the phone, and she's talking to another doctor saying, "So I've got this bladder, I've got this ultrasound scan or whatever of this bladder, and I noticed that there are 2 stones in here, and then there are 2 stones there," and then she's going on and on and on. I'm like, holy crap, I've got all these stones. Oh my God, what is this turning into? I turned into you for a little while. I got paranoid about everything.
Yeah.
And then she comes in the room, and I was waiting they had to give me the information on where I'm going to go to get the surgery, and I'm sitting there waiting, and she comes walking in, and I expect doom and gloom, and she goes, "Okay, here's the paperwork. Show up Monday, blah, 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 blah. So you got to go Saturday and get the pre-op stuff done." I said, "That's it?" She said, "That's it." And I was like, whew, I thought I was going to have
She was
stones,
talking
but
about
they would-
about somebody
talking about
else.
someone else.
Patrick just had his bladder taken a look at.
And that's what I was thinking about Patrick too. I'm like, so Patrick's had stones, so I guess it can't be that bad.
If they're
I'm going
in
on
your
and on.
no, if they've made it into your bladder, they're about to come out. See, that's
Okay.
what happened with me when I was. Oh God, are we getting? Everybody, there are magazines in the waiting room you can go read while we're talking about this. No, but when I had the kidney stones, it hurt me like right. Well, let me turn on the camera here so people can see. Right here, right, real pain, and what they did is they put me in the hospital, and then they put me on a saline solution so it would start flushing it out. But they wouldn't let me leave the hospital until my numbers went down and until the thing came out. And it slowly, I could feel it, a little lower every couple of day or so. And then finally, I went to the bathroom and I was bleeding like a stuck pig.
Oh.
And I ran to the nurse and I said, "I've got blood in my urine." Not that minor amount that I was talking about last night, but I mean major urine. And she says, "So, because that's what's happening. That's good. You're passing the stone. So, so if you have it in your bladder, then you probably have it past the point where you're going to be in great pain."
Well, the good news is I don't have them.
Well, you don't have it in your bladder.
I was listening to her discuss someone else's
But
bladder.
why such a big deal to lance a fucking boil for crying
Well, and that's
out
what I
loud?
was thinking. They made me do the urine test, and she even gave me a prostate exam. So she had her hand rammed up my butt.
Well, that was
Well, you see, the operative term is here, she. Okay, so
Oh, she was very attractive too.
Yeah, and she was
Absolutely.
very attractive. Yes, Jason.
I was going to suggest to you too, Rob, if it didn't blow by now, there's and it's so fitting too. There's a salve you could put on called bag balm.
oh yeah.
And it's great for boils. It draws the infection out. But
No, she put
it's
me
a-
on some kind of monster antibiotic. She took me off the one that the doctor put me on Monday.
Yeah.
She said, "You got to be really careful with this. I've seen it become life-threatening."
But bag balm
That's
is
what she
really
told-
good.
Really?
She said, "If it gets infected, I've seen it become life-threatening."
Now, she isn't going to be the surgeon, is she?
She is.
Oh,
She's
she
going
is.
to do the
Oh,
surgery.
oh,
She
okay.
said to me, "Man," she goes, "We got to do this soon." She said, my schedule is filled up. I've got a lunch appointment on Monday that I can reschedule, and I could do it Monday during lunch." So that's what she's doing.
That's pretty good.
Let's
really.
see here.
But you know what a difference, right? I went to the clinic, the walk-in clinic on Monday. The woman looked at it and she didn't want to go near it. Like they all went, "Ooh, yeah." I went Wednesday to a regular doctor. My regular doctor, she looked at it and she went, "Yeah, I think you better go to the urologist." The urologist got in there, manhandling, squeezing, and I'm like, then I finally had to wince because she not only squeezed the cyst, she squeezed my nut. And I went, "Oh, hey,
Score!"
This has been just one hell of a,
Let me check to make sure Brian is there. You there, Brian?
Yeah, the Skype booted me off and said, "This won't take long or updating." I wish I could do that with people when I'm on the job.
Turn on
this won't take long. I'm just changing lanes. Never mind the fact that I might push your fucking car out of the fucking road.
Yeah, Brian, turn your camera on.
It is on, isn't it?
No.
Hey, and side note from yesterday, you guys were talking about sperm and semen.
Yeah.
Semen?
Sperm is from your testicles. Semen is from your prostate.
That's what
I said.
Wait a minute. Semen
No,
is.
you said-
It said semen is from the testicles.
No.
No?
Semen is from your prostate. Sperm is from your testicles. All the white.
No, semen is. Wait a minute.
No,
Hold on a
there are
second.
two different
Wait a
things.
minute. Hold on a second. Sperm is semen.
No, sperm is sperm. Semen is the fluid that carries it. That you were saying. That's what it's called, the semen.
Seminal fluid comes from the prostate.
Well, that's what I said. The fluid that is the transportation between the boys.
That's called semen.
Scott, you're muted.
What?
Scott's muted.
Scott.
I see him talking, but he's not. I can't hear him.
Well, sometimes he does mime.
Yeah, he is muted.
We can't
Can
hear
you see me, by the way?
Yeah, I can see you. Fine. Yes, it was.
correct.
Well, Scott tonight will play the part of Marcel Marceau. Oh, he's hanging up now, and he's going to call back again. So anyway, no. Well, what I meant, whatever. To me, semen and
I always thought semen were the actual little swimmy sperm, but no, semen is the fluid.
Well, but what I was saying
the
last
fluid they
night
swim in.
is that the prostatic fluid was a fluid in which the boys swim to get to where they're going. So I was right. It's just I was using the wrong term.
Oh, fucking jizz to me.
That's just both of them put together. Is jizz.
Splooge.
Well, that too.
Yeah, that too.
Ball milk.
What?
There's podcast people my age who host this podcast. They're out on the West Coast, and it's called Sick and Wrong. I've been listening to them since 2010, and that's what they call it, ball milk.
Ball milk?
Yeah.
Ball milk.
It's not bad. That's not disgusting. But splooge.
Think about it when you drink a
Splooge
glass
is pretty
of milk.
good. Splooge is pretty good.
What's that, Kevin?
Think about it when you drink your next glass of milk.
Oh, I hate milk. I could never stand the stuff. Even as a kid, I couldn't stand it.
Yeah. Anyway, we
I
have
don't think I'm ever going to drink milk again.
As far as I'm concerned, United Dairy can go fuck themselves.
You know, Brian, is there anybody in this world that can't go fuck themselves, according to you? I mean, I hate to hear what you say about me when I'm not
Mr.
here.
Optimist.
Can we hear you now, Scott?
Can you hear me now, Scott?
Yes, we can hear you.
There you go.
Here comes Renee Collins. She's coming in from Hawaii.
Talk about semen. Here comes Renee.
Nobody's hearing me.
What?
Well, I can answer your question, Alex. I could try to fuck myself, but I'm not that flexible.
Yeah, I know. Hello, Renee.
Hi there. Are you just so? I just want to say, what's the problem? It's not long enough.
What?
I don't know. I'm too fat. I don't fucking know. Either way, I can't reach it.
Renee, if any man could do that, he would never leave home.
Yeah.
Absolutely, you wouldn't.
Well, I knew a guy who could blow himself. What's his name? Ron Jeremy.
Ron Jeremy
Could do it.
No, there's videos of people who can do
Well,
that.
I had when I was doing Midnight Blue, I had this guy named Mr. Infinity who did that. He blew himself. And I often my line always was, if I could do that, I have no need to embarrass myself with women anymore. You know.
I think it's on YouTube.
X2.
Well, I mean, there are films in which Ron Jeremy did that particular act. You know, I mean, there was a time when he couldn't do it anymore because he got so goddamn fat he couldn't even see it. You know, but
I heard you interview him once on Sirius, and he was also interviewed on that Sick and Wrong podcast. He seems like a nice guy, though. Shit.
Ron is a very nice guy. You know, very nice guy. I don't know anybody who doesn't like Ron. But Ron is, how do I describe it? Let me tell you what one night I spent.
Eccentric?
I should do like a Life in the Passing Lane special episode of my night with Ron Jeremy, in which I met up with him. I can't remember, we were, he was at a dinner with me with Al Goldstein at Spago's. And when we left, he said, well, why don't you come with me and we'll go over to a party. And we went to a party, and I'm trying to remember who are the kids in like Stand By Me. I'm trying to think. Oh, I know who it was. Corey Feldman. Yeah, but it wasn't Corey Feldman. His father was holding a party. I mean, I was so far off the beaten path. I was at Corey Feldman's father's house. And then in the middle of the night, we wind up out in Pasadena at a Rocky Horror Picture Show in which all the people that went there and played the roles were all porno stars, because this was their big social thing every week.
That was a good movie.
But when the night was over, and it was a long night, and it's like 4:00 in the morning, I and my then girlfriend, Schmoody I called her, Kathleen, are in the back of Ron's car, which he never bought a car. He always rented a wreck. You know the Rent-A-Wrecks? Remember that?
Yeah.
And he opens up the back of his car and he says, here, let me show you some stuff. And he has all his press clippings in the trunk of his car. And he spends an hour with us saying, oh, and this is the time I was with so-and-so, and here's me with the President of the United States, and here's me with... And I'm going, oh, my God, will he ever stop? You know,
the first time you met him?
No. I had known Ron for a while, but it was just I remember it took him like an hour. He was going through every picture in these press books he had of all his press clippings. So I mean, he just a strange guy, but you don't hate him for it. You know, how can you hate him for it? Yeah, you know. So anyway. This has been a real fun week, hasn't it, politically?
And a very fast one, for me at least.
Fast in what way, Brian?
I still remember Tuesday like it was yesterday.
Well, it was
like
almost
36 hours ago. That's when I start my job, Tuesday through Saturday, 8 hours.
Yeah.
And I can't believe it's almost over again.
I was saying to girlfriend here earlier on the show, that I saw a picture tonight of some video of Obama when he was president, and I just went, "Aw, gee, could we have that back again, please? Could we have that dignity back again?"
Never mind the warts; they pale in comparison to the cysts and boils that are on this asshole's administration.
Well, I just, it's just. There's no sense of dignity for the office. There's no respect for the office. I think.
I have resentment for it.
Huh?
I resent the fact that he's the president.
Oh,
it's resentful. I don't like where every time I hear the White House says this. Used to be something that you would hold up in esteem. Now it's like, reading the Inquirer.
Might as well just give it to Ron Jeremy and see if he can do a better job.
Oh, Ron could probably do.
Could.
He probably could.
A steaming pile of dog shit that's anthropomorphic and has been turned to life by aliens could do a better job managing this country than hairpiece cocksucker.
I love your lucid descriptions. It works. It works. Hey,
I try to entertain.
Hey, Jason, where's the old lady tonight?
On the couch watching the Hugh Hefner.
Oh, look, that's a good show.
Yeah, I was really surprised how much she got into it. I was surprised I got into it, too. The way you described it, I didn't think I was going to like it at all.
Oh, no, it's really good. Because
half documentary, half acting or whatever, but it's really good.
This is on Amazon, folks, and it's called The American Playboy. And what it is, it's more than just Hefner. It's a history of the United States for the last, 50 years and what we've gone through socially and every other way. and where he was somewhat of a focal point in all of that. It's interesting, though, that it really stops around the 80s because nothing happened after that.
I guess I was too busy looking at all of the pictures and not reading any of the articles to know how much of like civil rights and equal rights between women and everything, how pro all of that he was.
Yeah. But it's a very good documentary, and if people have a chance to watch it, I suggest it wholeheartedly. We watched it like we were eating peanuts, one right after the other. Did you see it too, Jeff? Did you say?
Yeah, I saw it one day. Has it been on like 3 times already, or just
No. The whole series is there, and you can just binge watch the whole thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There's 10 of them.
Well, I saw one and I thought it was really good. I really liked the fact that part of it was old stuff and part of it was new stuff.
Yeah.
And it worked together very well.
Well,
I think whoever put that together did a good job.
Yeah, well, are you still there, Renee, by any chance? Yeah, I wanted to make sure she was there.
I had to sneeze. I didn't want to do it on TV. I have a robust sneeze.
Well, if you're going to put the picture of the elephant up, and you're going to sneeze, go.
All right. If it comes back again, I'll do that.
Yeah.
What a good idea.
But what I'm saying is that the documentary made me suddenly have a newfound respect for Hefner.
Yeah, he stepped out on a lot of limbs.
Yeah. If you take sometimes a person's life and it feels so about them or whatever, and then they start listing everything one after the other and showing the person's life, by the time you're through, you're going, hey, that's. He was okay. He did a lot. He had an important effect on our society.
He pretty much didn't give a shit what anybody thought. He just did it.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much.
I loved his TV show that he used to have.
Yeah.
It was new. It was terrific.
Yeah.
If you watch the rest, if you get towards the middle of it, they talk a lot about that and how he developed all that. And
yeah.
The Playboy After Dark and all that.
Right. What was it you called that he called the centerfold was officially called? Because I only hear him calling it the centerfold.
The term I heard that they used was gatefold. Okay. As opposed to centerfold. But
they might have dropped that at some point and just adopted what everybody called it.
Well, they did start to call it centerfold. So, yes, you're right, Rob. Hello to John Rockwell, who joins us.
Howdy do. How you doing?
Who knows me longer than any of you do.
Wow.
Well, that's true. That's because Phil's not on at the moment. He knows you longer than I do.
Phil does. No? Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Because he met me in New York.
Like
he met me in New York.
Right.
Originally.
I didn't get to New York till 73.
But when he started hanging out with me, it was in San Francisco, and that was after I left New York.
Okay.
Then went back begrudgingly to San Francisco, thinking I was an absolute failure, and had wound up having my biggest success in San Francisco.
Yep.
Absolutely. See you every morning.
Yep. That was a very successful show. Well, here comes our. We have a full house without Phil. Hey there, Tim. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Did he announce in advance he wasn't going to be here?
Yeah, he writes me and tells me, like we care.
He usually does.
Yeah, like the show. You plan on trying to have a decent show without me. Well, there are now a full house, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody else can call because we have way too many people.
But we're all going to agree.
And we're all going to agree.
That's
How many here, just by saying I, think Trump is a douchebag?
That's
No
easy.
doubt.
Yes, Jeff.
Yeah, I was
and then
wondering
Jason.
if Irene was interested in Hefner as you were younger.
What? Say that again.
Renee, were you interested in Hefner? Did you read his magazine or anything like that when you were younger?
Did you read Playboy, Renee?
Yeah. Yes, that's
Of course I did.
okay.
Absolutely.
And that's
Where
what
the articles.
And the problem with that started with, and brilliantly, where's the bunny?
Yeah.
Yes.
Start
On the
looking
Yes.
for the damn bunny. Then you have to start opening the magazine and start looking through the magazine.
Yeah, but on the cover there was always the rabbit.
Yep, you got to find the rabbit first.
And you had to find the rabbit, and sometimes it was just a freckle on a woman's face, or
Oh, yeah.
in one case it was the way a woman's legs were positioned on the cover.
Page 3 would give you a hint.
Huh?
I said on page 3 it'd give you a hint, a close up of it.
Oh, did they do that? I didn't.
Yeah.
I don't remember them doing
No,
that.
I'm fired.
Oh,
I
well.
didn't know that.
Well, then I wouldn't have gone to all that trouble trying to look for the damn bunny. You know.
In the television show he had, what was that, After Dark?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I watched some of that, and I watched the English version of it or the European version of it sometimes, on occasions, because it was a little different to see the European version of After Dark.
Midnight Blue, After Dark.
Yeah, well, I'm looking for it now because over here I just saw it the other day. I actually have the Playboy After Dark shows.
A DVD, you mean?
A DVD of it, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
But I don't know. I saw it the other day, and now I can't find it. Just looking over there.
And the other gentleman is so. I agree that Hugh Hefner did a lot for the United States, but the other guy who did the Sluttier magazine that you know
Bob
of,
Guccione.
no, the
Hustler.
Oh, Al Goldstein. No, what's his name?
Larry Flint.
Larry
Flint. He did a lot for the United States too.
He did.
Oh, I love that movie. Woody Harrelson was in.
Oh, wait a
People
minute.
versus Larry Flint. I thought that was an excellent film.
Hold on a
Yeah, I
second.
thought he did a really good
Here we
job.
go, folks.
I can't see it. Why can't I?
You're holding it to the wrong camera.
He's holding it to the camera that they can all see.
There we go.
See that camera.
Say something, Alex, and you'll get a bit. We'll get a big
you see,
picture.
you're getting a different camera than the camera that's actually
There he
doing
is.
the video on the show. But
Put it
there's
on-
Playboy
Oh,
After
so
Dark.
you got it for the.
To your
Okay.
right a little.
Huh? Well, this is where you'll see it.
there
If
it
I
is.
do
There
that,
it
yeah,
That's better.
yeah. I'm aiming at the other camera, but there it is. Okay.
Yeah, the European version of that wasn't too. What was just a little different than.
No, but listen to the
Little
people.
raunchier?
These go
Is it
back.
raunchier?
These go back. After Dark goes back to 1969. Then he
Oh, yeah.
did the Playboy Penthouse years later. But
So
listen,
did Penthouse magazine stem from that or
no.
No.
They stole their name from this. But anyway, listen to the people that are on this. This is just disc 2 that I'm reading about here. Disc 1: Lenny Bruce, Cy Coleman, Ella Fitzgerald, Nat Cole, Sammy Davis Jr., the Kirby Stone 4, and Teddy King. On disc 2, Linda Ronstadt, Joe Cocker, Billy Eckstein, Mort Saul, Sid Caesar, Sonny and Cher, Canned Heat, Vic Damone, Dick Shawn, and Larry Storch. And then on disc 3, they have Ike and Tina Turner's Review, Doug Kershaw, Rex Reed, Patty Duke, Sammy Davis Jr., The Checkmates, Jerry Lewis, and Anthony Newley. How's that for a TV show? Huh?
Variety.
I should get those.
Yeah,
That's
they're-
great.
They're available.
Wait a second, Anthony. Did you say he knew me?
No, Newley.
Anthony Newley.
Anthony
Newley.
Anthony
Thank
Newley.
you. I was like, what? The cartoon character? Was that good?
So-
Those shows were terrific.
Yeah, they were. They were.
The big Playboy Mansion with the grotto and all of that. Is that in Chicago or is
No,
that
that
in
was it was in Homely Hills in Los Angeles, and I've been to the mansion.
'Cause I guess I never realized that Playboy got its start in Chicago. You know,
Oh, yeah.
so it's
Yeah.
so close to me. You know?
Yeah, no, they had the Playboy Mansion out there, and then they did the Playboy Mansion West, and he moved out to California, and, I was invited one night to go to the mansion. And I got to tell you, it's the best buffet food I ever had in my life. I mean, really, he put on quite a spread. All right.
I'm not sure I'd eat.
And-
Well,
but,
you know,
but,
I
but
would
here,
eat
but as I
there
walk in,
before it would
No
try.
double entendres
as I
there.
walk in, as I walk in, there are a whole bunch of people there mingling, you know, and you're told certain rules before you go there. One of the rules is don't hit on a bunny, don't hit on a playmate. That's just a no-no. If she hits on you, that's a different thing altogether. But you do not hit on a. But anyway, I walk in, and what's one of the first things I see? This guy wearing pajamas. And I just want to run up to him and just shake him and say, have some dignity, man. You know, because he always insisted on wearing pajamas all the time around the mansion.
Hey, silk PJs are not terrible.
What was interesting to me was,
Wait a minute, I got to tell you, at the end of the night, he did this grand gesture in which he would take one of the women who were there, and they would go up the stairs. It is a giant double spiral stairway that went up back into the, I guess, the rooms of the mansion. And he would take one of them, and they make this very grand gesture about, look, Hef's taking a woman back to his room. And they would go up there, and they would wave goodbye, and then they would disappear. All right? Yeah. So I had this bit I wanted to do, and I just wanted to be able to get Hefner to go along with it. And that was recreate that scene of him at the end of the night going up with a woman, you know, to the rooms. And then cut to the upstairs where Hefner says, thanks, and she says, okay, Hef, no problem. And then he goes down a back flight of stairs into a limousine that drives him across town to this shabby house where he goes up the stairs. He walks in. Here's this woman with about 5 kids, all their noses dripping, and she's in house slippers and everything. And he goes, "Hi, honey, I'm home."
Yeah.
And I always wanted to do that. But,
you know what, Alex? Yeah. That's the Arnold Schwarzenegger story.
Oh.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, how would have you liked to have been Maria Shriver finding out that Arnold Schwarzenegger is banging the maid?
But, you know, let's give him some credit, okay? That kid was treated well.
Well, you have to start from the beginning. Even though he was a Republican, when he got into office, he actually did really well for the people of California. There were a few really stupid things, but for the most part, he was pretty even-keeled across the board.
Look, let's put it this way. It wasn't the idiot show that it is now with this president, okay?
Yeah, not even close.
In other words, he took into account that the job had to have some dignity. But here's the thing I always felt about Schwarzenegger. Yeah, he was fucking the maid. And yeah, the maid got pregnant and had a kid by him. But he took care of that kid, you know?
Yeah.
He took care of him. There's somebody calling, and I don't know who it is, but I'm not going to pick up the thing because...
they're calling on an old call.
Yeah, and we are full up. We cannot take anybody else. I wish there were a way with Skype, but you know, far be it from them to put this in there, that at a certain point I could keep people from calling, you know?
Block. Once you get your 10, block the rest.
Yeah.
Could you actually, while you're on, change your status of not online if you have a full house?
No, because if I went not online...
Kick you off.
It would kick all of you guys off. I maybe could go.
Sure, because it's supposed to just be your presence.
Can you go private, or can you go do not disturb?
Believe me, I don't want to try it right now.
Yeah, probably not a good idea.
You know, maybe one night I'll go on a Saturday or something. We'll
for the
all
last
test
5 minutes of the show and try it,
and we'll all test it. You know.
Yeah.
But no, if you were trying to call us just now, we're full up. We can't take another person. I think it looks like
no more calls. We already have a winner.
Yeah, it might have been Damien. I don't know.
They're doing it again. They're calling again.
No.
Rob, I'm really sorry to hear about your surgery on Monday. I wish you lots of luck.
Well,
thank you.
Did you by any chance?
Well, I don't want you. Let me put it this way. I don't want you to die. Okay. Because I would hate to have to tell everybody he died from a boil on his nutsack. Yes, Jason.
I say one of the times they did a procedure on me, they gave me an epidural. And when I woke up, the first thing I was like, I can't feel my penis. I'm sitting there right in the open. I'm playing with it. I'm bouncing back and forth, but I can't feel my penis.
Oh, I do that every morning.
I'll wake it up.
I didn't know that was a worry.
Oh man, I don't know. I don't know how people become paraplegics. That's
and some guy just sent me a contact request live JHH something. Nothing in particular. And I'm not going to do it. Because,
So here's your
Mike
Alex,
Heinen.
Here's your response. Here's your response to mama. Shit.
By the way, Mike Heinen tried to call, and Mike, if you tried to call, I'm sorry we couldn't take you, but we got a full house. But he wants to be made a contact. So after the show, I will make you a contact, but I won't do it now because,
Remember when radio stations used to actually do that? They would give out the phone number for a contest, and then they would break into the song and say, "No calls, no more calls. We already have a winner."
Yeah.
Yes. I remember that.
Well, there were people though. There were people in those days who were professional contest winners.
Oh, absolutely.
And they knew how to,
They knew how to scam the system.
the system, and win the
P
prizes. So what they did now, radio stations made it so you could only win like once every 6 months or something. you know.
Everybody's a little different.
And talk stations for callers, they put in a thing that you can only call once a week. And so they have the numbers come up, and they actually can make it so that number can't call for a week.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, did you hear, you guys, I think you were talking about...
If I did that on this show, of course, I'd be talking to myself every night. What,
Better
Jason?
to talk to yourself than play with yourself, right?
Yeah, right.
The people who are doing the robocalling, they can actually spoof legit numbers. Like maybe it'd be a number that you already have in your phone.
Oh, yeah.
So you think somebody you know is calling, and they spoof their number like a.
I got one today.
I put that thing into my phone, Rob, that you mentioned last night.
Hi.
And it's fine. The only thing is they still call, but it just says it's a robocall. It says
it doesn't ring. I got him. It doesn't ring. It when I looked at my recent calls, there was a little red symbol with the line through it.
Yeah.
And it said scammer. It never bothered me. It didn't ring.
Hey, Rob, it's just a shame you can't change, or maybe you can change the picture, the icon, where instead of a red circle, it has like a guy going like this.
Did you set the thing so it wouldn't answer those calls and just put it off to voicemail?
I don't remember. I mean,
because that's what you can do, but I don't want it to go to voicemail.
No, you don't want it to
I
go
don't
to
want them to know that there's somebody they can talk to. You know.
Those calls usually don't go to voicemail. They'll dump before they go to voicemail, I think.
Yeah, they will. But I know I looked into my phone and I went to recents, and they give you the symbols. Let's see if I can find one.
Protect call.
It gave me Oh, here, see. I was like, if you'll be able to see this.
Let's see. Oh yeah.
See that one there with the.
Oh, yeah.
I've got it. I've got it with a what do you call it?
Alert warning.
You know the what can I call it?
Hiya, colon fuck nut.
I have it with mine has a triangle and it says telemarketer, and it did ring, but it said telemarketer when it was ringing.
I haven't really played with it much to see if you could have a choice as to how it handles the call.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just downloaded it last week. I was reading. I get those Mac emails. I can't think of the name of the thing, but they give you all kinds of really cool tips.
Yeah.
And if a new app comes out like this, they recommend it. And so, Mac Rumors or one of those things. I get an email like weekly, and so I found it there. I downloaded, and then I really forgot about it. And then all of a sudden, I looked at my recent call list, and I said, "Look at that! It works." It blocked the call.
Well, it didn't block the call from ringing, but it did say on my phone that it was a telemarketer. Now maybe that gives you maybe if it was really spam, it would. I mean, I'll wait and see what happens. All I know is it's working. Okay.
Yeah. I got one just before we called in. I got one and attacked him with my fart app, so that was fine.
Oh, good. Yes.
So you have two choices: scam and fraud calls. Alert with the warning that I showed you, and that's what it's selected, or block, send to voicemail.
Well,
suspicious spam calls.
Where do you have
choice
that?
of alert.
Where do you have that in the program itself?
In options, yeah.
Hold on a second.
Options.
Let me go to it here. Here we go.
Just go to options, the far right bottom. On the bottom to the far right hand side, it'll say options.
Yep, there's options. Okay. Alert with the red with the line through it warning. Okay, I have that set up. Oh, and suspected spam calls. That was a suspected, the one with the alert with the other warning. So it will do it on the other
You can do
ones.
either one to block either one if you want. Mine are right now set to alert.
Mine's set to alert too, but suspected spam calls, it doesn't stop from coming through. It just comes through and tells you that it's a telemarketer. So that you know that it's on the edge there, right? Because I was afraid I didn't want people, friends of mine, trying to call me.
Well, it won't.
Yeah.
It's only going through a database. Every day that database is updated.
Mm-hmm.
And
I had one of the worst ones calling me is the American Red Cross.
Really?
you are now protected from 205,782 unwanted callers.
With me, it's a central blood bank.
There's an update button on here where you can update that database that they keep adding to
Now, my
every day.
question is, see, here was my great worry about this. My great worry about this was, I'm buying this program, putting my phone number in there and a whole bunch of other things. How do I know it's really doing what it's supposed to do, but it's not scamming me as well? Because there's no advertising. There's no way. How are they making money off of this?
That's a good question.
Maybe they're doing it as a public service.
Oh boy.
Yeah, who does that?
We're doing it in your interest, comrade.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Putin and he wants to see what you're up to.
Yeah.
Please donate to Trump.
Well, if he can keep the telemarketers at bay, he can see whatever I'm up to, regardless. I don't give a fuck.
But the name of the program, once again, for people who want to, I guess they can get it on Android as well, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
But I know you can get it on the iPhone. It's called Hiya, Hiya, and it works. It works.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Do you remember
Rob.
that one commercial making fun of the telemarketers? This is Peggy.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Bob.
Bob. Yeah. Boy, I
calling
hate.
from Idaho. My name is Bob.
The trouble is, that our lives weren't they much simpler when you just had to dial.
True.
I mean,
I'm moving, right? So I called the guy, the Comcast cable guy, right,
Yeah.
to turn on cable in my new apartment. And he said, "Do you want Comcast phone?" And I was like, "Why? Nobody calls it. And all I'll get is telemarketers on it and scam calls. So no. I mean, why would you want to get a home phone at this point?
well, the good
really?
part about it is that they usually call that phone of mine, and I hear it ring first for a second before it rings over to my iPhone. And so, therefore, I know it's a scam call because
you
nobody
forward
else calls that number.
Yeah.
Nobody else calls that number.
Well, also, the reason people in earthquake countries should probably kind of keep their landline, and it's only $5 a month. But in case
Where's that $5 a month?
Really?
It's $30 a month here.
No, my God, Comcast is $5 a month.
That's not a landline. That's a VoIP line. There is a difference.
Well, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Rob. What were you talking about?
I was talking about a VoIP line. That's what Comcast offers.
No,
is
I was
VoIP.
talking about landline.
Well,
And a landline is more reliable.
The old-fashioned copper
VoIP
network.
line.
Well,
Yes,
you know what they're offering here in
just
New
call
York
it quick
is FiOS is offering for $79 a month 900 megabytes of throughput. How about that?
Wow.
For $79 a month, which is probably what I'm paying for this 300.
You can't use that. I mean,
Oh,
you
I
would
can
need-
use it.
You would need You would need a ton of devices to use that kind of data.
Well, it has an
But
upload
no, it's
speed.
bigger,
it has
it's better, it's faster.
It has
You need it, you need it.
It has an upload speed of something like 850 or something like that. And I need that kind of upload because I upload stuff after the show to various
yeah, but
sites.
how long does
and
it
so
take
on.
you? So when I used to upload my show to Gabnet, when I did a show on Gabnet, it would take a minute and a half maybe. So if you have, does it really, for the minute and a half, do you need 900?
Well, I'll tell you why you could use it is because let's say you have a house full of kids. Let's say you have 4 kids, and they're all
Kids got
watching.
Alex.
They're all watching the internet, or they're using their iPhones, or they're playing games with friends in another country, or whatever. Having that bandwidth, that headroom, like I have
HD
300
video, I
here.
think,
That
takes
headroom
3 megs.
is wonderful. What?
HD video, I think, is like 3 megs per second.
Really? Okay.
The biggest problem, really, that slows down the internet isn't so much the speed. It's when you wind up with a lot of dropped frames, when you have packet loss. That's really causes more trouble than anything else is packet loss.
Yeah.
Because there's not something out there that prioritizes what should be coming faster and slower.
Right. Well, we'll see what happens when President Trump has his way and he changes.
He signed that bill, didn't he?
Says here,
net neutrality?
Skype shared Skype.
Yeah, the hair pie cocksucker.
And he did not do it in a press
Remember?
conference. He did it behind the door.
Wait a minute, hold on a second. I want to see something with my screen here a second. It says
That joke never
Skype.
gets old, does it?
Listen, Skype has just sent me a message, and it's let's see here. Celebrate spring with our new emoticons. Thank you very much for wasting my time with that, Skype.
I saw there's a new emoji or whatever on Facebook. You can send a flower. It said,
Yeah, I saw.
thankful.
I was thinking it might be for Mother's Day. Oh, what did you get for Mother's Day?
What did I get? I didn't get my mother any. I hate Mother's Day.
Did you get her a headstone?
So did the creator of Mother's Day.
Alex, did you get your mom a headstone at least?
Here's why I hate Mother's Day is because I don't have a mother.
You do.
Hey, Renee, happy Mother's Day.
And if she were alive today, she'd be about 120 years old.
Yeah, I don't say that to other women. That is a nasty thing
Wait
to
a minute.
say.
My mother was born. In 1904. What?
No. So Jason was listening to the show last night from Amy, and I don't. I'll call a woman a cunt before I will call her a breeder.
Oh.
Because breeder means she's a dog or she's a cow.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second, Renee, and I think Brian will back me up on this. I've had gay guys call straight guys breeders.
Yeah,
they do.
Yeah, it's not simply aimed at women.
Well,
I was thinking that last night.
I personally don't like calling women livestock, so it's a me thing.
If they're white trash giving birth,
if they're
to
a cow,
little
they're a
piles of
cow.
white
Okay,
trash. They are breeders, as far as I'm concerned.
One of my wife's pet peeves
It's Briard breeders. As a matter
me
of fact.
calling a woman a female.
Yeah.
Or as I like to say, cuntly, wantly, vulva, bitch. Wheelie, wheelie, viva la bird.
You know, what we have to do, Brian, is put out the Brian Ludwig dictionary.
Yeah.
Now, if I had my studio up, I would make a promo.
Here's another one. Here's another one for you. Sphincter twat.
Oh, that's
a gay guy who thinks he's the center of the universe. I said this once in the intersection. I remember I said it to Amy. She thought it was funny. Effeminate gay guy who thinks he's the center of attention. I call them sphincter twats because they bleed out their mouth.
Who's that
bleed
one
out their
guy?
ass, which is their mouth.
Who's that one celebrity? He has like a plate in his head. He has his something isms where he'll make an acronym for every word for the letters of the words. I think he did a cable commercial or something a while ago recently. He's off the wall. He's crazy.
I would have said Gary Busey.
Gary Busey. Busey-isms. I would love to see Brian and Gary Busey.
Where is Gary Busey these days? He's like, he's kind of disappeared off the face of the earth. Maybe
he's nuts. He's straight up nuts.
Maybe he's out hanging out with Richard Simmons or something,
Nuts, not unauthorized thoughts.
Not like Haitian witch or whatever the hell is going on with Richard Simmons.
I think Gary Busey hit his head a few too many times.
Yeah. Couple of too many motorcycle accidents without a helmet on.
Well, that's the problem.
I think that's what he does a lot now is ride around with motorcycles. I've seen him here and there in places down here in Arizona and whatnot.
Yeah,
looks like his face has been run over.
John Rockwell's been a bit quiet, and every now and then I see him about to open his mouth, and then somebody else says something, and
No. I'm just a little stuffed up today, so I'm breathing. I'm a mouth reader.
Well, we are going to have a nor'easter come in tomorrow.
Oh yes, tomorrow will be a day to stay home.
You're going
all
to get
afternoon, 2.5 inches of rain all day. Which is not a lot compared to some places that have had it's 8 or 9 inches over that day, like in Texas and
I very
Southeast.
seldom use an umbrella, and the reason is that I can never see why people were so worried about getting wet. It's just water. And
come on.
You go inside, you will dry off. I guarantee you will dry off. There have only been a couple of times I've been caught in a storm that was so bad that when I came home, I had to throw my clothes in the dryer. Okay?
I'm throwing a flag on this play.
Okay.
If you spend any freaking time on your hair, if you spend any damn time putting on makeup.
Oh, I do a lot of work on my hair. There it is. See, in fact, before I did the show tonight,
$10 on your hair.
Yeah, you
deserve to get wet.
Yeah, before I went on the air tonight, I had to blow dry it. It was terrible. It was a mess.
You fucking deserve it.
The humidity, it gets humid. My hair just frizzes like you wouldn't believe.
So, Alex, was your blow dry up?
Yeah, pretty much.
The microfiber cloth.
Also, what's known as a Polish blowjob.
So who said microfiber cloth? Thank you, Kevin. Yeah.
So, Ryan, are we going to talk about your bangs and your sports clip haircut?
Actually, I go. $10 I pay for a haircut. $11 maybe. The coupon over at Great Clips.
Hundreds of
It's
dollars.
sports clips. Watching TV to watch. Get the fuck out of here. That too. Men who do that.
What's that?
I go to one here in Harlem.
I'm equal opportunity. I don't give a fuck. I find faults in all genders, all races. I generally hate people.
But did you ever see like the movies?
That doesn't preclude the bowl cut with the bang cut you got going there.
Did you ever see the movies?
It's the way it grew, I guess. I don't know.
Cut it out. Go to a real place.
Anybody see the barbershop movies? That's the kind of barbershop I go to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like the barbershop movies. Those are good.
They're here in Harlem, and I go there, and there may be 20 people in this barbershop, none of which are getting a haircut.
Yeah, one.
And I walk in, I go, oh, I'll never get a haircut. It's going to take hours. And the guy goes, come over here. And I sit down, and of course he does mine in, let's see here, I'd say 5 minutes, maybe.
How do you know when you need a haircut?
I sure need one.
The trouble is, I go
to
the kind of barber who is not good enough, so that when it starts growing out, all the hairs grow at a different length.
Oh,
and then I get a haircut from them, and all of a sudden my hair is not. I have to slick it down. So then I go get a haircut. Yeah.
You know what I want to do? I wouldn't be opposed to shaving my head if it weren't for the fact that I've heard horror stories of people who fall down and hit their head on something, and then the parts where it does get damaged, the hair doesn't grow back or it grows back funky. But that's the only reason why I wouldn't shave my head and keep it shaved by myself by shaving it in the shower. Because
I will send you $40 if you go to a real salon.
Shit. Do it Western Union. I could use $40. I can't guarantee it'll go to a salon though.
Scott, you have no room to talk currently, buddy.
Hey, this is protest hair.
I stand with Jason.
This is my Trump hairdo.
When I was in San Francisco, I used to go to Vidal Sassoon and spend $75 on a haircut.
Whoa.
And that was 80s money.
But it was a great haircut. I mean, you remember how I just told you about how this haircut, when it grows out, all the hairs are a different length. When it grew out, a Sassoon grew out, it still looked great. It's just that you wanted it shorter. That was all.
With naturally curly hair, the rule is if you can get somebody who knows how to cut your hair so it lays correct curly, but a stellar hairdresser will actually cut it so that when you flatten your hair, it'll look.
Well, you don't want your hair to become curly, but you also don't want it to become mauve either.
Well, what brought about?
So when you go in,
John got that.
When When you go into Sassoon to get your hair cut, you don't say a number 5 on the side.
No, you don't point to a picture up on the wall. No.
There are no.
They
What was that?
What?
That famous hair or barber shop in the East Village that had all the numbers, everything all over, and there was a line because it was so, that it was it was a hip place. I think back around the punk era. It was down on like off of Broadway on like 8th or 7th Street. It was Astor Barbers or something like that, and it was famous because it had all the different styles up on the wall, and you'd pick out, you'd say, I like a number 43 or something like that.
Yeah.
And they just whip through you. Yeah, it was, but that became a cool place for.
kind of like ordering ice cream at Baskin Robbins.
But they were young, Italian barbers, the classic sort of barber thing. But they realized that that area of the East Village was loading up with a lot of hip punk rockers, and they said, okay, we're gonna change our styles and have all these various different styles, and they made out like bandits. It was amazing.
By the way,
went there. I'm a Supercuts guy myself, but
Charlene's trying to call. Don't call
too.
Charlene because we're full up here. Okay.
Right, and Charlene's a hairdresser. I was just reading on our page.
Yeah.
So, Charlene, do you want me to get off so that you can
No, don't. You stay right where you are, Renee. You stay right where you are. You're going to have to suffer through this whole fucking show. You're our designated Phil for tonight,
Oh. Yeah. Go bring it on, bitches.
Bring it on, bitches.
What brought about this discussion was the whole using an umbrella thing. Hey, here's what I've been doing. I use a hoodie. I put the hood up, and that takes care of it.
Or if I'm wearing a hat, the reason why guys like me wear hats, and the main reason we wear hats is because if it does rain, it's hell if you got skin up there,
Yeah. Probably also to avoid sunburns too, I would imagine.
Jason.
I thought this was funny. I was going to say something because I thought the girl had a good sense of humor, but I never did. I was at a 7-Eleven. On the door it says, no hoodies allowed in store. Well, she's wearing her burqa. I'm like, hey, it says no hoodies allowed in the store.
Yeah, you should have.
No hoodies
Just
allowed?
like that joke I made on Jack Bishop's program, and Renee was there when I said it. I said I always wanted to go up to a black woman who has blonde hair and tap her on the shoulder and just say nonchalantly, "Excuse me, miss, but is that your natural hair color?"
Oh my God, she would kill you. And
So why don't you take a look at the carpet, see if it matches the drapes?
So, and I don't want you to think it's just black women, but Donald Trump has a lot of bleach blonde followers. And so when you see, so I've gotten to the point because I don't listen to him anymore. Is when
he has followers is enough to make.
And there's a crowd behind him. You just count out the faux blondes. And so if I dare you to use that same tactic on one of those women, and excuse me, ladies, they're not women, but go up and tap one of them on the head and ask them if it's their natural hair color, and you'll get the same response.
Is it not?
Maybe I will. I never thought of that, but hey, shit, why not? If I could piss off another group of people, why not?
Yeah,
Renee, is it not in good taste to say to a lady, "Congratulations on being pregnant"?
When they're not.
Don't even go there, dude.
That's what I'm saying. That's sometimes you see somebody and you go, "Ooh, they look pregnant."
Yeah, it's just, does my ass look, does this outfit make my ass look big?
No.
There's only one answer, right? So when it
No
comes
comment.
I'm pleading the fifth.
Well, wait a minute. We don't have any black people on the panel tonight, but if we did, I think they would say that to say, when you say, does your ass look fat, some black guys would go, yeah, it does.
Yeah, they're into that.
Because they're I don't know what it is with the brothers, but they love the big butts.
Mm-hmm.
I guess
and they cannot.
What were you going to say, John?
What is that?
No, the song, I like big butts and I cannot lie.
Slim, whatever his name is. DJ, whatever the fuck his name is.
Exactly.
It is a funny song.
I don't think it's okay, hold on one second. I do recall Jason making a comment about something more to grab. Isn't that correct, Jason? A couple weeks ago, you guys were talking about, Patrick was talking about, because he sits at butt level all the time. He's always end up looking at butts. And Jason said something about, and it was so anti
what?
Anti-Semitic? Is that what you're going to say?
Sure, anti-Semitic. That was it.
Why was it anti-Semitic? What did he say?
It was. You know what? We need to drop this. Can we pick another subject?
Well, I was just messing with Renee. I don't know.
I mean, did you just commit a faux? Wait a minute, hold on. Did you just commit a faux pas, Renee?
No, we're just. If we keep this conversation up, it's going to go into Jason's going to get in trouble with Sabrina.
No, Jason don't get in trouble. Sabrina don't listen to the show.
It's 120 minutes of nothing but faux pas.
Okay.
In fact, I get the feeling sometimes Sabrina resents the show.
Yeah, she doesn't like me being on here. That's why I only get let out once every 2 weeks.
Shit.
All right, we need a new subject. I don't want to pick on.
Yeah, let's talk about guys who are pussy whipped. That's our new subject.
There we go.
Here's a question for you.
Yeah.
So my son wanted for his birthday the Ancestry.com DNA thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so we did it, and he is 22% Native American.
Yeah.
Yes.
Central Mexico. And then basically the rest is English, which I didn't know. I always thought I was Irish, which I guess whatever. But one of the things that is said on there was not European Jew. What is European Jew?
European Jew is European Jew. I think it's usually sometimes referred to as Ashkenazi.
Like a European, like a Polish.
But where,
am I right? Am I right,
DNA
Jeff?
Trace. Where is that from?
Jeff, am I right? Ashkenazi.
Yes.
Yeah.
There, and I don't know what the real reason is, but there's two different types of Jews in Europe.
Real Jews who are from the Middle East.
Well, then who's God's chosen people?
No. The real Jews aren't from the Middle East.
Wandering.
We wandered a lot.
The people who went to Spain, actually, their language was different. Okay, I'm talking about not major, but subtly enough that you could easily take the difference. But the other thing is they also ate different foods and had different, maybe religious things, but you could somehow, everybody would identify whether you're an Ashkenazi or not.
Yeah.
Ashkenazis are basically the German and Polish and Russian areas.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what they were talking about, Jason.
Yeah, so that's probably what they're referring to.
But I guess I don't. You're saying a diet and a culture that doesn't affect your DNA.
Well, I don't know.
As far as
you said that, I never heard that, but
no, and that's
not?
what I was I'm questioning, because I don't understand why were there so many Jews in Europe. Because I grew up being a Christian. I understood how the Christian religion spread. I've never heard the history of how the Jewish religion spread.
Well,
and why are all these
spread? They were terrified. They were thrown out.
Yeah,
but it's not because you don't, because people who were supposedly these slaves in Egypt were tan Middle Eastern people. They were not Caucasian Europeans. And all the Jews that I know now are Caucasian Europeans.
Well,
so the religion spread. Your ancestors were never slaves in Egypt.
Let's face it. Look, wait a minute, Jason. Let's go back to the beginning of mankind. The seat of mankind was in Africa. The first humans were African. They were black, basically. They were dark-skinned people. When they started spreading across the world, they started becoming different races as a result of that.
Because a result of where they were.
So somebody who was generations before came from somebody who was black, was now living in Europe, was Caucasian. I mean, I have a whole history. I got to go watch it again. In which there was a history of the world and how these people spread, and why certain parts of the planet got populated first, and then second and third. If you look at the Russians, for instance, you start getting towards the Russian border, they start looking Asian.
Because of where they're geographically located.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's certainly easy to believe that some Jews remained dark-skinned, and then some Jews who migrated to Europe became fair-skinned.
Yeah, my father was.
The Jewish religion isn't old enough for humans to have evolved.
What were you saying, Jeff? Your father?
My father was a lot darker than anybody else, and somehow darker than his other brothers too.
Yeah.
And
there are black Jews called Sephardic Jews.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Sephardic Jews are also called people from Spain.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think Italy too.
The Jews in Africa, they have no DNA ancestry, connecting them. It's the religion spread. The same as the Christianity religion spread to other races.
A point that Jeff made, and it kind of got lost in the shuffle, was that the Jewish religion also spread out of fear because we had to leave places to go somewhere else to get away from something. Yeah,
we've tried to get rid of you guys a few times.
I know, and my question has always been, what have we been doing all these years to piss people off?
That's a white
They're
person.
trying to kill us. They're trying to throw us in concentration camps. They're trying to get rid of us by all means. In the Mideast, they're trying to kill us. Do we piss people off? Is there something we're doing that's wrong?
We stone you. We do all sorts of fun things.
Yeah, you've done. I think the Inquisition was just wonderful. It was just.
So, Jason, you've got American Indian in you.
No, I do not have any American Indian in me.
I thought you said your son got
Christopher Columbus did not go to India. No, he did not.
I did not work the switchboard.
Well, wait a minute. Are you part Indian or part Mexican?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, there's casino Indians, and then there's dot Indians.
Yeah. Are you? What kind of Indian are you?
That's from another podcast.
No, the joke was, what kind of Indian are you? Dot head or woo woo?
Well, like I said, my son took it, so he's 22% Native American.
Very good.
From Central Mexico.
From Central Mexico.
So
okay.
But see, that gives, because of the large amount that he happens to be, you guys have got health care. You guys have got.
No, we don't.
Really?
No.
I thought you had to be like 60.
Because my ancestors are from south of your European border. Your European-made border.
I'm curious, Jason. How old's your son that would ask for that? Huh?
Nine.
Really? He asked for ancestry, huh?
Yeah, he's all into weird stuff, man. When he was born, huh?
How old did you say he was?
9. When he was, as soon as he could talk, he was like obsessed about trees, and then he became obsessed about maps, and then he became obsessed about weather. This kid's 9 years old, and he knows all the 50 states, and he probably knows all the capitals of all the states, and he knows all the largest cities in all the states. He's OCD about a lot of stuff like that, and I guess just part of being interested about maps, he wanted to know where he was from, his ancestry.
That's good.
Cool.
I think so. Yeah.
Don't restrain him from that. He's absorbing.
Yeah. It's freaking
I did that. I did Ancestry.com on my dad's line going way back. His mother was German, his father was English, and the English part went way back to the 1500s or something. They came over, direct descendant came over around maybe 10 years after the Mayflower, and were big Connecticut people and all that, and then they somehow hopped over to the Midwest.
What's happened lately with Ancestry.com and what Jason did was the DNA thing, right?
Yeah, well, that would be a tough one for me because I'm an adopted kid. So, I don't know what my ancestry is.
Well, you'd find out what your ancestry was.
So I have a pretty good idea from the fact that I have AB negative blood and I look sort of Greek, or it looks sort of Mediterranean. AB negative is a very Mediterranean area. They say like Italy through Greece through Turkey, that area, and it's rather rare in America as a blood type. My dad, I asked him whether he got any information from the adoption agency, which he happened to be a trustee of that agency too. So he said, that's where we went to get you, And he said, he said, I didn't, they have never told you very much, but he said, I think you might be right about the Greek thing or something like that. Yeah. I said, okay, well, I'll go with it. And, Opa.
Anybody here know what Ancestry.com, where Ancestry.com is from?
The Mormons.
The Mormons.
Mhm.
And it is an outgrowth of something they did to be able to determine the background of people and see if they're all related to each other and related to
Whether
John
they'll go to
Smith.
heaven or not.
Well, yeah. So,
see,
but
I've
they
always
turned
been
it into
interested in that.
a very good business, to be honest with you.
I've always been interested in doing that, but to lay out the money, I just don't know if, the stuff you get back, is it right? How the fuck do you know? How can you challenge it?
And like I said, that's the thing that I thought was kind of crazy because basically I thought I was, part Irish, which on there they located right down to England, not Ireland, but England.
Yeah.
And then, there's French. I thought that I had more French in my family and in my wife's family. My son's amount of French is like almost nil.
How much did that cost you to do?
$100.
$100.
Not too bad.
I might do that. I'd like to see. Is that a cat's tail going past Renee's camera?
It's a big kitty cat.
Oh, jeez. Oh, that's a monster. I'm being attacked by a monster.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Got some big ass paws too.
Yeah. And then I'm being attacked by a monster, and then there's a cat as well.
There we go.
Thank you. I
Had to go there.
I'm just going to take that as a compliment.
You should.
By the way,
make sure Trump doesn't grab it, please.
Not blonde.
We've been getting some of the highest numbers tonight that we've gotten on any show we've done recently, and I
Because
think
we
that
started out with my ass
Wait a minute, Scott.
That's right.
Scott, announce why your theory. Why?
Fistula first.
No, Phil. I love it. Scott shouts everything at a certain point.
That's right.
Have you been drinking tonight, Scott?
No, and I
thought he
should.
was.
And you should be. No, these are all the nice people here. There's nothing to get you agitated.
Phil's just trying to kill himself with his.
There's
no need to
Kevin,
talk
who's
Trump when
amiable, and Jeff, who's even more amiable, and Jason, who's just a delight, and I wish he could call more often, but his wife won't let him. Renee, she's wonderful. Tim, you haven't said a word, Tim. You've been very quiet tonight because we haven't talked about politics at all.
Well, I miss Phil. But you think Phil not being here is why the numbers are high?
Who knows?
Oh, we're just taking a guess.
Or we're not talking about Trump, maybe. Maybe that's it.
Maybe it's just we're not talking about Trump, and I think people are.
It's hard to have a discussion about Trump when everybody on the panel has the same agree. We agree. There's nothing, yes, we agree. Unless you're talking about something else he does, we all agree. When Phil's here, he inspires that. You just want to go, come on.
Out of the 10 people here, there are 10 people who will say that Trump's a scumbag. All right? So, yes, Jason, Renee first, then Jason. That's where the way the hands were going.
So I'm getting this really strange feeling with all of this information coming out about Russia. I'm pretty sure, as sly as Obama is, that he's running around thinking that that Trump's going to get impeached. He's going to be kicked out. There's no doubt about that. But what are they distracting us from? What is it that we're not getting to see? What is it that's coming down the pike that we don't know about, that they're trying to keep us focused on Trump's bullshit while something else happens?
Instability. That's all they want.
But pay no attention to the man behind the curtain, you mean?
Continuation of the war on the middle class, maybe?
And who is the man behind the curtain? Who really has control over this country right now?
I'd say the corporations and the banks.
But more so. Well, Jason?
I was just going to say, my little side point is, I really do think if any and all the things with Trump, I do think he wants to bring jobs back to America.
Oh, God.
He's doing it in the wrong way with manufacturing and pushing that so hard because he's really screwing us by doing too much of that. But one thing he could concentrate on, bring call center jobs back to the United States. They're not as high paying of jobs. People who have to call other countries, and you hate calling other countries.
Especially tech support.
What it could do for handicapped people who, you could work from your house because you're in a wheelchair or something, that would be the easiest thing to bring back call center jobs.
Back when I lived in San Francisco, I can't tell you the number of people I know who worked in customer support. All the call centers were here. Yeah. And I can't begin to tell you how many of them I knew are suddenly losing their jobs because they started moving them overseas. So you've got a good point there.
He doesn't, but he doesn't want to bring jobs back to the United States, because if he did, he wouldn't try to be getting cheaper workers through the visa program for both his Morrow.
That's him personally.
Look, it starts with you. It really does. It starts, if he wants to bring jobs back, those 80 jobs at Mar-a-Lago should have gone to Floridians, and that should have been the end of the question. The additional 20 jobs at the vineyards, picking and slack, all that stuff is one thing, but he doesn't do it. It's all made in China shit too.
Jeff's
There's nothing he can do because the robots are trying to take all the jobs. They have hotels run by robots now.
Yeah, Jeff.
I definitely believe that.
I agree about the robots, but what I really want to say is the best opportunity that Trump could get more people employed was to give us more and more medical insurance problems.
Absolutely.
Because that would mean that more people would be able to go to the hospital, see a doctor, a nurse, or whatever, a therapist, to get a drug. All of those things, great opportunities.
Yeah,
and he's trying to reduce
energy too.
What'd you say, Tim?
Renewable, support the renewable industry for renewable energy.
Yeah,
there's a lot of jobs that we're missing out there too.
Yeah,
China's way ahead of us.
A lot of that is going on though in the right positions. Part of the problem is the sun is better in Texas than it is in New England. Okay, it's just a natural thing, so it makes it. If you go into Texas and you drive around, you'll see lots of sun-powered
solar farms,
lawn mirrors.
Yeah.
Does anybody know the law firm that wrote the letter saying Trump has no Russian investments? Do you know that anybody know that law firm was Russian Law Firm of the Year in 2016?
Yeah. Oh, and it's certified.
I put it on Facebook. I put the link on Facebook.
It's certified too.
What was it? I read that
that
his accountants or whatever who are doing his taxes said they can tell you that I don't have any Russian investments. Yeah, but they also won't give us your tax returns. So how do we know anything?
It's all going to be shell corporations anyway, because the Treasury Department that does money laundering investigation is handing all the research over to the Senate committee, Russian investigation committee, and they say there's going to be some eye openers there.
Yeah, Brian, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I was just going to ask Tim if you obviously have a Facebook account. If you would, and this is a shameless plug here, a Facebook group page that I made about GabNet.
I think I followed it. I thought.
What's that?
Yeah, I thought I followed the GabNet one.
There is a GabNet.
GabNet. It's a group. It's not just a Facebook page. It's a Facebook group page.
Yeah, but we do. There is I believe you Renee started a GabNet group, right? Wait, we can't hear you, Renee.
You're muted.
What? We can't hear you.
I started a GabNet chat group, which was good when it was all Skype, but now that you broadcast on Facebook, it's better to be, because right now when Charlene wants to talk, I just look at the Facebook chat part of it and I can see that chat. So
I added you on the group page, Renee, I remember.
Okay, so the group chat is so now, but people still have access to it. But it's kind of becomes irrelevant once he starts broadcasting on Facebook, because the Facebook people that are the people watching on Facebook can put comments all the time.
Yeah, they can put chat on. In fact, I wish I had a computer right here where I could see some of the chat, but I have to turn around and look the other way and read some of the chat on the. I could probably, I guess, use my iPhone. Another computer.
On your iPhone,
you get an iPad. You have an iPad, right?
I mean, I could do it on the iPad. Anyway, hey, I just looked at the time. And it's amazing how time flies when Phil isn't here.
Everybody did their homework for Amy and Jack.
Hey,
I love Phil. Stop dogging him.
Well, I love Phil too, but there's a limit. Anyway,
you had your fill.
Kevin, thank you for joining us tonight. Jeff
Good
Stein,
answer.
always a pleasure. Jason, I wish you could get out every week, but you know. Let me talk to Sabrina sometime. Put her on the phone and we'll talk. Yeah. Renee,
been on in a while.
thank you, Renee. Tim, thank you. I appreciate it. Rob, now you got to call us on Tuesday and tell us how your nutsack is feeling.
Yeah, good luck, buddy.
Yeah, and good luck with it. And it's it's just minor surgery, but yeah, you got to get it done.
Surgery.
Keep it clean.
It's surgery nonetheless. Scott.
Surgery is your friend.
So get better. My thoughts will be with you, Rob.
I thought it was drugs, your friend.
Scott, thank you. Brian, thank you. And of course, John Rockwell, thank you so much for being the person on the panel who's known me the longest tonight.
Yep.
Okay? And everybody, have a nice weekend, everybody. Hopefully we'll see you on Tuesday night. Bye-bye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Okay. And that's it for our citizen panel. We talked to them each and every night, and we had a really nice discussion tonight. It was a good group of people. Anyway, we got to go here, and I'm going to just skedaddle. Oh, isn't that homey? Skedaddle out of here and get ready for the intersection with Jack and Amy over most of the same Gabnet. In the meantime, as always, if you see her, tell her I love her. All right.